Cortez. He's sitting in the front seat there. And so this next piece that I'm going to do, I just kind of wanted to dedicated to my girlfriend, Anna. And ironically, it's called Dear Ex-Girlfriend, so y'all understand where it goes. Dear ex-girlfriend, I honestly attempted to forget about you as you so adamantly requested so many years ago. If I remember correctly, your last words were, "I want nothing to do with you." And ever since, those words have been etched to the back of my eyelids, so that every time I close my eyes and lay my head to rest, your farewell is the constant reminder of how proficient I am at watching every good thing I hold dear crumble through my fingers. But I was a grown man, so I bottled it up and that pain kept on trekking. Fast forward a month later, February 19th, 2010. My father, clothed in his typical button-down plaid shirt, Dockers slacks, and Wilson tennis shoes, awakes to eat his morning breakfast. He washes it down with tea and milk, and then makes his way to the rear porch. He faces the backyard, raises a 10mm pistol to his temple, and pulls the trigger. Dear ex-girlfriend, I'm struggling with sovereignty. Like, why is this happening to me? You lost your father when you were a child, but we're no longer on speaking terms, and I can no longer run to you, so I'm gasping for air as this battered vessel begins to sink, and joy begins to seep out through my aches and bruises. Pleasures evermore seem to run dry as my heart and my frustrations bring out every tear. My mind loses its ability to trust in a God who says he's for me. Thankfully, my brokenness made me a perfect conduit for divine grace. For blessed are the poor, for the poor in spirit, for they shall see the kingdom of heaven. So in the words of Spurgeon, I learned to kiss the wave that throws me against the rock of ages. I learned that although my earthly father had fallen into the grip of death, my heavenly Father has ascended into the very same abyss and tore death apart from the inside out. So I can stand before you today and declare on behalf of all of those who's ever lost their father or a mother, oh death, where is your sting? Oh grave, where is your victory? The one who breathes stars to life and speaks light into the void is breathing new life into my void. Dear ex-girlfriend, I'm starting to realize that sometimes our vessels, they need to sink. Because it's only then that we realize that it was grace that kept us afloat. Dear ex-girlfriend, it's been almost 5 years. My Heavenly Father's been taking me by the hand and I've been learning to trust Him. And as He stitches me back together piece by piece, I've been reading through Ephesians and I came across something I hadn't noticed before. In chapter 2, verse 10, the author refers to us as God's workmanship. That word, workmanship, is translated from the Greek word poema, which means that we are God's living, breathing poetry. The narrative of our lives is the result of this spoken word, and so, as you can imagine, it caught me off guard when our stories collided once again. I thought I had lost you for good, but now I realized that I hadn't lost anything, and yet I gained everything. You were simply a way as our Father taught me the intricacies of His heart, because it was only there that I would learn to handle yours. So now, instead of dear ex-girlfriend, it's my joy to say, dear girlfriend, hi, welcome back into the messy tapestry of my life. The book of James says that every good and perfect gift comes from the Father of lights, and she is my good and perfect gift. She is my daydream that I never have to wake up from. She is divine, she is image of God, and she bears it well. She is my best friend. She's familiar with my deepest and darkest imperfections, and yet she handles them and cradles them with gracious hands. She is, como se dice, mi vida, mi cielo, la que mi corazón anhela. She is my daily reminder that because of grace, redemption and reconciliation are worth seeking, and that our Father, is in the business of resurrecting that which we've broken and making beauty out of the scraps of our lives. So, dear girlfriend, I stand here before you tonight, struggling to articulate in words just how much I love you. And how grateful I am that you never gave up on me. Your love always points me to a higher love. And I want to spend the rest of my life minding the length and the width and the breadth of that love alongside you.
Amen.
So,